Woo! Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the preachers and the Christians. Joy to you and me. Hey, how you loving? We're reading the entire Bible, including the Apocrypha and the Pseudipigrapha. I am your hostess with the mostest at your service, Reverend Valerie Love, also known as Kaisi, the author of over 26 books now on practical spirituality, magic, Christian witchcraft, and the occult spirituality that you can apply to your life and get real world results like manifesting your dream life, living your purpose, being healthy, vital, and happy, traveling the world, filling all your dreams. Yes, that's what we're about around here, around her. That's what we do. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? So we're reading the entire Bible. I am so proud of all of us. Here is why I am so proud of all of us. This is why I'm so proud of all of us. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes, I'm a different woman today. I'm someone else today. Okay? I have many different personalities. I am so proud of us because we are accomplishing that which we set out to do. And you've always got to celebrate yourself and praise yourself and speak over yourself as you are doing what you're doing. You got to encourage yourself. Yes, some of them gospel songs, they still in my blood, right? I use the ones that work for me. You have got to speak over yourself, celebrate yourself, encourage yourself, inspire yourself, motivate yourself, and say, you know what? I did that. So let us do that right now. We completed the entire book of Genesis. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. Somebody. We completed. Pat yourself on the back. We did that. And if you didn't do all of Genesis, it's okay. Celebrate yourself for whatever part of Genesis you did. And you're here now. Celebrate yourself. Next, we did the apocryphal books. Let's just go to the books that we have completed, baby. The books that we have completed that are in the public domain that we can read online while respecting copyright law at pseudipigrapha.com. We have read the books of Adam and Eve. Check that off the list. Baby, you read that. Or I read it to you, right? You read along. We did it. We did it together. The Latin version, Life of Adam and Eve, the Slavonic version, Life of Adam and Eve, also known as the Apocalypse of Moses, the Greek version, the Apocalypse of Adam, the Book of Adam, the Book of Adam and Eve. Okay, now one of these we did not read because, of course, it was in copyright. So the one that we did not read, you go back and you read it. I'm going to be listing them all out on my website shortly. All of the books that we are reading as we're reading them. It's going to be on the website soon. Now, we have completed, as of yesterday, the Book of Enoch, also known as 1 Enoch. We completed the entire book of Enoch, including a fragment from the book of Noah. That was it was not easy getting all the way through the book of Noah, the book of Enoch. Oh my goodness. Now the fragment from the book of Noah I loved. The book of Enoch, oh, it took me and we did it. Because we can do challenging things. We can do big things. We can do things that grow us. We can honor big commitments. We can grow. We can prosper. We can thrive. We can do it all. Yes, we can. And now we are at 2nd Enoch, the Slavonic book of the Secrets of Enoch. 2nd Enoch is also known as the book of the Secrets of Enoch. Oh, don't you love it? Don't you love secrets? I saw someone yesterday in the comments that said, oh, we love secrets. We love secrets. Welcome. Come on in, come on in. We did that. Okay? We did that. Yes, I have on hair today. I have on I'm another woman today. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just a different woman. Same divine essence, different expression. Let's begin. Screen share. Screen share. Oh, Aries moon. Yes. So proud of yourself. And you know what I love about this Aries moon? Aries moon, thank you so much because you reminded me. You reminded me before I jump right into the book of the Secrets of Enoch. I must do a quick heads up. Aries moon, you're absolutely right. I'm proud I have been present. Yes. All the days, everyone here, every day that you have been present, reach your hand up in the pat yourself in the back. Reach your hand up in the sky, pat yourself on the back because you did it. And whether you're here live or you catch the replay or you catch it on the weekend, whatever you do, you did that. When I say we are reading the entire Bible and the Apocrypha, and as much as the Pseudipigrapha as we can find that is in public domain and not copywritten, I meant that. And we're doing it. We are fulfilling our word to ourselves. And guess what? It is very easy to not fulfill your word to yourself. It's easy. Just do nothing. That's the easiest thing to do. Nothing. We don't do that. We are such big accomplishers around here. We are empire builders. We are absolute magnificent divine beings. We are huge beings on the planet. We are called for a purpose, and this we know, and we are thankful to fulfill our purpose. Babies, come on, baby. You're going to have me speaking in tongues here. So the reason I was so happy that Aries Moon dropped that comment is because tonight, I will be live coaching in Money Magic. Money Magic. Money Magic. So every first and third Thursdays of the month, I coach live in our community, in our Money Magic community. And I will drop the link to you right here if you would like to be in the live coaching session. This is all about you on purpose. This is our esoteric wealth community, very exclusive community. And you see right here what goes on in the community. And there's even a complimentary masterclass for you to watch the entire masterclass if you like. This is happening tonight. Tonight, we will be in Money Magic. Next, I also want to make sure that you know, hold on, that we have a ritual coming up. Ritual loading. We have a ritual coming up. Spring equinox. Next month, spring equinox. Oh, I love this comment. This is my first time staying committed. This helps me in my life. Yes. That's the underlying intention, that when you set out and you say, I'm going to do this thing, it is going to be challenging to start a new habit. We probably will not follow through unless we have accountability. Family, do you know how many times, and simply me, 777, do you know how many times I promised myself that I was going to read the entire Bible on January 1st? Never got through the entire Bible straight through like I'm doing now. And for me now, I can do it because I have accountability, all of us together. So I can do it. I could do it then too. I was just like, by the time, Exodus, Leviticus came around, I was like, okay, you read one genealogy. I guess you read them all. And I can see myself kind of slipping. And then by April, the thing is gone. The whole habit is gone by April. So let's not fool ourselves and act like we don't require accountability. And I require accountability just in case, you don't. I do. I ain't gonna act like I don't need accountability. I do. I need accountability. Okay, so let's get to So you know about Money Magic. I just dropped you the link to Money Magic. And if you say to yourself, well, what's Money Magic? Money Magic is our esoteric wealth community, is the community where we are on purpose building wealth, doing what you love and what you were born to do. And it's not just rituals and spirituality and altar work. Yes, it's that too. We have 12 portals, and at each portal, you set up an altar. Yes, it's the altar work, and then it is the actual strategy, which most spiritual people don't have, the actual money making strategies that cause money to appear in your bank account or your accounts. It doesn't have to be a bank account, in your accounts, not by manifestation. Manifestation is involved. Yet, if you are going to be a person who receives money from YouTube, you would be like one of our members, Titus, Reverend Titus, or you would be like one of our members, Aziza, who actually started a YouTube channel, is consistently uploading to the YouTube channel, is showing up to the YouTube channel, and is experiencing growth as a result. Like, what are we going to just sit and manifest the money? No, no, no. I come from a background of you work, get to work. Now, because I don't like the word work, it's a four-letter word for me. I love the word love. So this is doing what you love and what you were born to do. If you're going to write a book, not only do you require the spiritual work and the road opener ritual to do the work, the road opener ritual is amazing. And I just love seeing people do the our members do the road openers ritual. Not only do you do the road opener ritual, you do your work in the spiritual dimension, and then you take physical steps. You must sit down, write 1,000 to 2,000 words per day, have a formatting software that we teach you to use, have author tools, have a marketing plan for your books that you execute, understand publishing wide on Kindle Unlimited, Ingram Spark. Like, we're not just going to manifest shit. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're doing the spiritual work, the mental work, and then the physical action steps. You must have it all lined up. And as far as I can tell, Money Magic is the only place that gives you all of that. So when you get ready to join us in Money Magic, I know, right, chosen girl? Me too. As I just confessed to all of you, confession is good for the soul, if not for the reputation. I love being here. I couldn't get through the Bible alone. Isn't that the truth? Me either. My hand is raised. And because we're doing this together, it's flowing. It's flowing. We have never missed one day yet. And even on the day where I thought the upload was supposed to go on at 7 a.m. and it didn't, I got in there that same day and made sure something told me, check, because I was away at the business trip on a workshop. And I went and I checked. This thing didn't upload. What in the heck happened? And I got it up by 4 p.m. that day. So we have not missed one day. I mean, that's a celebration, because here we are at February 19th. That means we have been going for more than 6 weeks every single day. Boom. I know some people that already fell off the gym. But January 1st, they were gung ho. February 19th, they ain't at the gym no more. Let me share with you what I was going to share with you. So that's Money Magic. Let me share with you what is coming up, because we're about to get into the book of the Secrets of Enoch. The book of the Secrets of Enoch. Here are the books that we have been working through. And here is what I want to show you. Go to valerielove.com. I'm going to drop this in the chat right now and in the pinned comment. ValerieLove.com is always going to be where you're going to go, so that ValerieLove.com, so that you can get the updates on everything. And right here on the very first page, it's been updated. The website has been updated to, yes, we're reading the entire Bible. The 30-day challenge starts in 3 days with me and Harmony. And where is it going to be? It's going to be in our school group. Yes, I love school so freaking much. It's going to be in our school group, dismiss, where Harmony has loaded up, oh my goodness, all of the deliciousness for our Amazon influencers. That is what is happening on February 22nd. Now, go here to get details. And when you get details, you must understand that you must first take the masterclass before you can be in the challenge. There is a fee for both. Invest in yourself. I was just on a masterclass with my coach over the weekend that I invested in. Always set aside and invest in yourself fund. It's a self-love fund. Always invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself. Investing in myself is my mantra. That's my mantra. Okay. The next thing I want you to see is that the Gospel of Aradia book club discussion is coming up in the mystery school. Ah! And that's the book. This is our first ever book club meeting coming up on Saturday, February 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching this after these dates, then go to valerielove.com and get the new dates. So whenever you're watching this, it will work. You'll find what you're looking for at valerielove.com. The Gospel of Aradia book club discussion. So we are going to be discussing, oh my goodness, the new Aradia, a witch's handbook for magical resistance in the mystery school. This is our first ever book club discussion. Then I want you to see the spring equinox candle burning ritual. Put it on your calendar. Spring equinox is coming next month, 1 month from tomorrow. 1 month from tomorrow, we have the spring equinox. And as per usual, I will be doing a candle burning ritual. Y'all know how we love our candle burning rituals around here. Ah! And I want to say something about rituals. Oh, here's the book that we are doing for our first book discussion ever. Our first book club discussion ever. And we love that it's a tiny book, so you can certainly get the book and read it. You can probably read it in one afternoon. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love this book. It's got sigils, it's got the words, it's got the incantations, it's got the invocations. Now I have a newfound appreciation for Lucifer. Aradia, the Gospel of Aradia, will give you a newfound appreciation for Lucifer. I'll just say that. I'll just leave it there. Lucifer is not who we've been taught Lucifer is in Christianity. Sigils, oh my goodness, do I love this book. So I love this book so much, and I was going through it again, and I said, oh my goodness, we should have a book club. I want to talk about this book with some of my peeps, some of our magical peeps. So I asked the mystery school, do y'all want to have this book? Do you want to have a book club discussion? They're like, yes, say less, Rev. I'm like, good, let's do it. And so we put out the dates, and we will be meeting on February 28th for our first ever book club discussion. And I just love that. So if you'd like to join us in the mystery school, by all means, hop on in. Spiritual community is everything. Spiritual community is everything. Get in the community, contribute, grow, connect, do the work, the spiritual work within yourself. See, in the mystery school, there's no steps you have to take. It's mystery school. It's really about going within. It's your spiritual practice. It's you learning how to be the magical being that you were born to be. That's what we do in the mystery school. In Money Magic, we get to work, because if you want money, you need to do some magic and some work. It's money magic. So these are two different communities for two different intentions. And if you have any questions, you can always put it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. I will link Aradia for you below. I will link Aradia for you below. Love that book. The Book of the Secrets of Enoch. We start a new book. I'm just so happy that we get to do this. I'm just so happy. There was a wise man, a great artificer, and the Lord conceived love for him and received him, that he should behold the uppermost dwellings and be an eyewitness of the wise and great and inconceivable and immutable realm of God Almighty, of the very wonderful and glorious and bright and many-eyed station of the Lord's servants, and of the inaccessible throne of the Lord, and of the degrees and manifestations of the incorporeal hosts, and of the ineffable ministration of the multitude of the elements, and of the various apparition and inexpressible singing of the host of cherubim and the boundless light. Before we go any further, I want you to know that that was one sentence, and that has probably been one of the best sentences I have ever read in my life. That's got to be one of the top 10 most glorious sentences I've ever read. That's one sentence. This entire paragraph is one sentence. Whoever wrote this is wicked with the pen. I just want to say that. Let's continue. At that time, he said, when my 165th year was completed, I begat my son, Methuselah. After this too, I lived 200 years and completed of all the years of my life 365 years. On the first day of the month, I was in my house alone and was resting on my bed and slept. And when I was asleep, great distress came up into my heart, and I was weeping with my eyes in sleep, and I could not understand what this distress was or what would happen to me. And there appeared to me two men, exceeding big, so that I never saw such on earth. Their faces were shining like the sun. Their eyes, too, were like a burning light. And from their lips was fire coming forth, with clothing and singing of various kinds. In appearance, purple, their wings brighter than gold, their hands whiter than snow. They were standing at the head of my bed and began to call me by my name. And I rose from my sleep, and saw clearly these two men standing in front of me. And I saluted them. Fear and the appearance of my face was changed from terror. And those men said to me, "Have courage, Enoch. Do not fear. The eternal God sent us to you, and lo, you shall today ascend with us into heaven. And you shall tell your sons and all your household all that they shall do without you on earth in your house. And let no one seek you till the Lord return you to them." And I made haste to obey them, and went out from my house, and made to the doors, as it was ordered me, and summoned my sons Methuselah, and Regem and Gadad, and made known to them all the marvels those men had told me. Listen to me, my children. I know not whither I go, or what will befall me. Now therefore, my children, I tell you, turn not from God for the face of the vain, who made not heaven and earth. For these shall perish, and those who worship them, and may the Lord make confident your hearts in the fear of him. And now, my children, let no one think to seek me until the Lord return me to you. And it came to pass, when Enoch had told his sons, that the angels took him onto their wings and bore him up onto the first heaven and placed him on the clouds. And there I looked, and again I looked higher and saw the ether. And they placed me on the first heaven and showed me a very great sea, greater than the earthly sea. They brought before my face the elders and rulers of the stellar orders and showed me 200 angels who rule the stars and their services to the heavens and fly with their wings and come round all those who sail. And here I looked down and saw the treasure houses of the snow and the angels who keep their terrible storehouses, and the clouds whence they come out and into which they go. They showed me the treasure house of the dew, like oil of the olive, and the appearance of its form, as of all the flowers of the earth. Further, many angels guarding the treasure houses of these things, and how they are made to shut and open. And those men took me and led me up onto the second heaven and showed me darkness, greater than earthly darkness. And there I saw prisoners hanging, watched, awaiting the great and boundless judgment. And these angels, spirits, were dark looking, more than earthly darkness, and incessantly making weeping through all hours. And I said to the men who were with me, wherefore are these incessantly tortured? They answered me, these are God's apostates who obeyed not God's commands, but took counsel with their own will and turned away their prince, who also is fastened on the fifth heaven. And I felt great pity for them. And they saluted me and said to me, man of God, pray for us to the Lord. And I answered to them, who am I, a mortal man, that I should pray for angels, spirits? Who knows whither I go or what will befall me, or who will pray for me? And those men took me thence and led me up onto the third heaven and placed me there. And I looked downwards and saw the produce of these places, such as has never been known for goodness. And I saw all the sweet flowering trees and beheld their fruits, which were sweet smelling, and all the foods borne by them bubbling with fragrant exhalation. And in the midst of the trees, that of life, in that place whereon the Lord rests, when he goes up into paradise. And this tree is of ineffable goodness and fragrance, and adorned more than every existing thing. And on all sides, it is in form gold looking and vermilion and fire-like, and covers all, and it has produce from all fruits. Its root is in the garden at the earth's end, and paradise is between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And two springs come out, which send forth honey and milk, and their springs send forth oil and wine. And they separate into four parts and go round with quiet course and go down into the paradise of Eden, between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And thence they go forth along the earth and have a revolution to their circle, even as other elements. And here there is no unfruitful tree, and every place is blessed. And there are 300 angels, very bright, who keep the garden, and with incessant sweet singing and never silent voices serve the Lord throughout all days and hours. And I said, how very sweet is this place. And those men said to me, this place, O Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who endure all manner of offense from those that exasperate their souls, who avert their eyes from iniquity and make righteous judgment and give bread to the hungering and cover the naked with clothing and raise up the fallen and help injured orphans and who walk without fault before the face of the Lord and serve him alone. And for them is prepared this place for eternal inheritance. And those two men led me up onto the northern side and showed me there a very terrible place. And there were all manner of tortures in that place, cruel darkness and unillumined gloom. And there is no light there, for but murky fire constantly flaming aloft. And there is a fiery river coming forth. And that whole place is everywhere fire, and everywhere there is frost and ice, thirst and shivering, while the bonds are very cruel, and the angels, spirits, fearful and merciless, bearing angry weapons, merciless torture. And I said, whoa, whoa, how very terrible is this place? And those men said to me, this place, O Enoch, is prepared for those who dishonor God, who on earth practice sin against nature, which is child corruption after the sodomitic fashion, magic making, enchantments and devilish witchcrafts, and who boast of their wicked deeds, stealing, lies, calumnies, envy, rancor, fornication, murder, and who, accursed, steal the souls of men, who, seeing the poor, take away their goods and themselves wax rich, injuring them for other men's goods, who being able to satisfy the empty made the hungering to die, being able to clothe, stripped the naked, and who knew not their creator and bowed to the soulless and lifeless gods, who cannot see nor hear, vain gods who also built hewn images and bowed down to unclean handiwork. For all these is prepared this place among these for eternal inheritance. Those men took me and led me up onto the fourth heaven and showed me all the successive goings and all the rays of the light of sun and moon. And I measured their goings and compared their light and saw that the sun's light is greater than the moon's. Its circle and the wheels on which it goes always, like the wind, going past with very marvelous speed, and day and night it has no rest. Its passage and return are accompanied by 4 great stars, and each star has under it 1,000 stars to the right of the sun's wheel, and by 4 to the left, each having under it 1,000 stars, altogether 8,000, issuing with the sun continually. And by day 15, myriads of angels attended, and by night 1,000. And 6 winged ones issue with the angels before the sun's wheel into the fiery flames, and 100 angels kindle the sun and set it alight. We'll pause here. If you came here for the reading of the Bible, Apocrypha, and parts of the Pseudipigrapha, there you have it. The first 11 chapters of the book of the Secrets of Enoch. Now on to the commentary. Why don't we think they're talking about aliens? The thing is totally describing aliens. It's not even covert. It's totally describing aliens. They lift me up from the earth up to heaven. Why don't we take any of these texts at face value? That's 2 big shining men came to Enoch while he was in bed It's a story. It wasn't Enoch. We understand that. There may have been no person named Enoch. There is an ancient story, however, of in the Sumerian text of a legend of a man who was greatly loved by the Anunnaki, and they had their favorites and they would bring them up. That's spoken of in the Epic of Gilgamesh as well. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, there was one who was taken up to the Sky Council. And before he went, Inky, I think it was the Adamu, we'll look it up. Inky gave him express instructions on what to do when they took him on the spaceship and took him up to the sky. Why don't we think that they're actually talking about things? Why is academia and mainstream so quick to dismiss it all as myths? None of it has any footing in the literal physical world. No, this is all myths. Like, we don't want to hear anything else. And we certainly don't want to hear anything about the A word, aliens. Let's go further. That's my first comment. That's my first thought in the commentary. The next is there's always the element of astrology and astronomy. So it's so throughout the Bible that anyone who tells you astrology and astronomy are not approved by God, they just don't read the Bible. And I know that we're not reading the Bible, quote unquote, according to Protestant Christians. Yet, according to Catholic Christians, this is the Bible. And according to Ethiopic Christians, this is the Bible. Next, the word witch. Let's talk about the word witch as it appears in the book of Enoch. No place where the word witch appears in the Bible is talking about an actual person that we know as modern day witches. Nowhere in the Bible is the word witch referring to what we in the modern day would call a witch. What am I talking about here? Let's break this down. The word witch didn't even exist. The word witch did not exist. This is a fairly modern word. And when I say fairly modern, I mean in the last few hundred centuries. This is not an ancient word. What was the ancient word? Well, I broke it down for you and I will show it to you. It is on the Christian Witches Substack, where I give you the exact wording and the exact specifics of this word. Let's go to it now. We're going to go to the Christian Witches Substack. Okay, let's share the screen. If you'd like to follow the Christian Witches Substack, no charge. You can read the Christian Witches Substack if you like. I write to it when I get the inspiration to write to it. Don't sit waiting for me to write to it, because I write to both Substacks. I have two Substacks. One is a community Substack, Christian Witches Substack, and one is the Valerie Love Substack. Don't wait for me to write on it. I write on Substack when I get the inspiration to write on Substack. Okay? Let's go to the Christian Witches Substack, and let's go to this article. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Biblical license to kill. Let's look at it. Boom. This one right here. Let's share it with you. Let me just click the share button. Let me copy the link, and I'm going to put it here in the chat. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Biblical license to kill, because we just want to understand what these words mean. So let me show you. This is a story. I'm not going to read the whole thing because you can read it. I gave you the link. I'm going to give you the highlights. I'm going to tell you what this is. This is a story of how a butchered Bible translation powered the torture and murder of over 80,000 people, mostly women, who were accused of crimes of witchcraft, and the resultant stain on humanity's soul, born of hateful ignorance, blind terror gone mad, and unchecked brute force, all in the name of God. Yeah, God is telling us to drown you. God is telling us to unalive all these people. What kind of God is that? So let's look at it. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. How many times have we seen that in the comments? Oh, the Christians love that one. Oh, they love that one. They just want to go grab it, clean out the Bible. They might not know what the rest of the Bible says. They know that one. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And they put it in the comments like it has anything to do with your life. And then they walk away. And you're like, wow, I am seeing ignorance. So there must be parts of my brain that are so ignorant right now, based on my perceptions. Christians, I'm not talking about all Christians. I'm talking about the Christians that say it. This is the mistranslated word. This is the word in Exodus chapter 22, verse 18. Mech Hashepha. Mech Hashepha. What is a Mech Hashepha? What is that? Questionable. An ancient Hebrew word that many scholars, all scholars don't exactly agree on exactly what the word means. So there were no witches. There's no such thing as a witch in ancient Hebrew, in ancient Mesopotamia. No such thing as a witch. So what are we talking about? First, let's talk about what a witch is today. A witch could be a healer. You go on Instagram, you can see many witchy healers. A witch could be a teacher, a guide, a way shower, a wisdom keeper. A witch could be a crone. A witch could be a potions maker, making your enemies or having a baby. Witches don't have the right, wrong paradigm that Christians do. Witches have a power paradigm. Witches don't operate by the good evil paradigm. That's all Christianity and the Abrahamic religions. They have moral codes. All the rest of the beings on the planet, all the earth-based religions, all of the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Buddhists do have a guide for how to live, right? The Eightfold Path. All of the earth-based religions, the shamans don't operate on good and evil. It's very difficult to get this if you've been raised in a Christian world, because you think, you immediately seize up. If there's no good and evil, oh my God, it's either God or the devil. It's either heaven or hell. You're caught in a bifurcation of your consciousness. Everything is duality. It's just it's good, it's evil. It's good, it's evil. It's good, it's evil. No, witch is evil. No, baby is good. It's just you got two buckets, and everything has to go into the two buckets. That's a crazy consciousness. Your consciousness has two buckets. Let me come on screen share, right? Your consciousness has two buckets, and everything has to go into one of these two buckets. You're just walking around. No nuance, no intuition, no inner knowing, none of that. What did they say is good? Getting married is good. Is it good for you? I don't know. I did it twice. It wasn't good for me. Good bucket. Having sex before you marry. Oh, yeah. Having sex without being married. Oh, that's in the evil bucket. You're going down. It's the bucket that's evil, that's hell, that's bad. You're going down. The bucket that's good, that's God. You're going up. They might as well have just left that in kindergarten. That is kindergarten. The universe doesn't work on none of that shit. And these people are running around, these Christian people, if you know any of them, just bless them. Just nod at them from afar. Smile. Smile politely. But if they come into your circle and start talking, then you have permission to engage. And whatever that engagement looks like is going to be the result of the engagement they bought. And like my daddy said when he was on this planet, don't start none, won't be none. Don't start none, won't be none. So as long as the Christians stay where they need to be and don't come in my sphere. Now, if they come in my sphere and they have something to say, oh, we're going to have a powerful conversation. If you want to come over here and awaken this witch, that's a baby's on. It's on. And if you want to, you want to stay over there, mind your business, great. I'm gonna be over here minding my business, just drinking a little latte and eating some avocado toast and being lovely and reading my book and being lovely. Yet if you come over here, that's going to be a FAFO. That's what that's going to be. That's going to be Now, let's go back to this word, because this word, one word, do you see the power of one word? One word killed 80,000 people across Europe. So glad I wasn't European. I was probably in Africa somewhere, or maybe I was somewhere in Egypt. So happy I was not in the burning times. Well, maybe I was, because sometimes I get the sense, was I there? Wasn't I do have this drowning thing. So they could have drowned me. Who knows? Anyway, it's not a past life I want to remember. Anyway, let's continue. Because I want you, anytime someone comes up with, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, point them straight to this. Point them, say, oh, I have something for you. Would you like to read? Would you like to know more about that? Would you like to know what you're saying? No, I don't want to know what I'm saying. Okay, great. They have embraced ignorance. Leave them alone. Today's witch can be one who is gifted with powers, an herbologist, a practice of earth-based magic, a creatrix. There's a lot of ways a witch could show up. Now, Genesis, who wrote the book of Exodus? Okay, now let's go further. Okay. This is what a Kabbalistic teacher taught. And I said, oh my God, he is, oh my God, what a word. And because he said what he said, I had to put it in this, in this context. The Bible is a book of energy. A quote from a fave Kabbalah teacher, David Guillaume. David Guillaume says, the Bible is a non-religious manual of energy, explaining the DNA of energy and how energy works. What? This man is Jewish and he's a Kabbalah teacher. He came to the same conclusion that I came to. He came to it by way of Kabbalah. I came to it by way of meditation and reading. Wait a minute, this book isn't religious at all. He said it's a non-religious manual of energy. And it's telling you stories about how energy works. Okay, let's go further. Typically, they say Moses wrote it. It's not Moses. Let's go further with this word. The word. I give you context. The original Hebrew word used in Exodus, translated as witch, is mekhashifa. But what that word actually meant when Exodus was written thousands of years ago, we cannot know, leaving us with only modern interpretations. This is according to the article written called Thou Shalt Not Suffer a Witch to Live, a murderous mistranslation. The article makes a salient point. Not everybody agrees that the biblical reference in Exodus is to witches as we understand them. Okay, let's go deeper into this word. What does this word mean? It says a possibility for this cryptic word So first we've got to understand this part. When the person wrote this word, Mekhashifa, hope I'm saying that right. Hebrew speaking people, let me know the phonetics in the comments if Hebrew speaking people know how this word is pronounced. It's an ancient word. I don't even know if it's still in use. When the writer of Exodus, whoever it was, wrote this word, we cannot know what they were referring to. We cannot know. Okay, let's go further. They think it might mean, it's a cryptic word, that maybe it refers to those who enchant or speak spells. This arises from the interpretation of the root word kashef. There's a root word inside of it, kashef, this word right here, kashef. Kashef. And the root word kashef means mutterings. Maybe it's a person that speaks incantations. Maybe it's a person that does invocations. Maybe it's a person that does some kind of mutterings. We don't know. Another possibility is that kashaf means to cut. To cut? Are they cutting herbs for a potion? We don't know. It's a person who cuts and mutters. That's the best we can figure it out of what this word means. Now, what social context it had when Exodus was written thousands of years ago, we have no clue. We have no clue what they had in their mind when they were writing the book of Exodus. We don't know what it was. Was it a person running around speaking spells, enchanting people, healing people? Was it people who do their dancing under the moon at night? Were there sorcerers? Were there people who speak to the dead? Like, what was it? We don't know. Now, when the Hebrew was translated into Greek, into the Septuagint, they translated this word into pharmakia. Pharmakia is an herbalist. However, it has also been translated into poisoner. Pharmakia. Pharmakia could be a pharmacist, as we recognize the root word pharmakia, pharma. We recognize that root word. So, Ann Jeffers, biblical studies lecturer at Heythrop College, translate pharmakia to herbalist. Reginald Scott translated into poisoner. See, so people are taking words that they didn't know what it meant in the first place, and they're trying to grasp what it means. And is it pharmakia? Is it a poisoner? Later, much later, we get the word witch. Much later, we get the word witch. So how did we go from, tell me how do we make these leaps? How did we make the leap from Mekhashifa, an ancient word? Now we do know that in the ancient world, there were prohibitions on killing people with magic. Magic was very real in the ancient world, just like it's very real right now. And there were certain prohibitions on certain magical practices because they worked. No one would prohibit magical practices if they didn't believe magical practices worked. So there were people who practiced magic. There's always been people who have practiced magic. Always. Forever. Forever. Call it different things. 2,000 years from now, we might call it something other than a witch or a sorcerer or a wizard or a warlock. We have many names. We have mediums. We have psychics. Now, when we say these words, we know what we are talking about. Well, that's not even true. Thank you, Spirit. That's not even true. Because when you say the word witch, it depends on where you say it. If you say the word witch in church, wah! If you say the witch in the middle of a Samhain festival or a Samhain fire ritual, which I've been to many, yay. If you say the word witch to a group of teenagers who are just coming into their witchy powers, they're like, tell me more, right? It depends. And then when you say the word witch is like the word God. When you say witch to 100,000 people, there's 100,000 different ideas going on. When you say the word God to 100,000 people, there's 100,000 things going on. So non-specific. Therefore, we cannot speak of it in terms of objectivity. We must speak of it in terms of subjectivity, because a lot depends on the context and who you're talking to and when. Does any of this give anyone permission to demean the spiritual practice of anyone that they are in the presence of, who may be a witch, a medium, a psychic, a wizard, a warlock, whatever you do, boo? You do you, I do me. Does it give us the right to demean or judge anyone and or their spiritual practice? No, it does not. No one has a pass from love. Well, I love all these people because they're in my same church. But I don't love those people. Fornicators. Let's see, we're back to the good and evil buckets again. We're back to the good and evil buckets. So when you read the word witch in Enoch, know that that word did not exist when Enoch was written. Understand that that word has morphed and replaced other words, and then got really heated during King James era, where it now became associated with the devil. There was no devil before. Ancient Hebrew religion doesn't have a devil. Jewish people, many Jewish people to this day don't have a devil concept. There is Satan, and Satan is an angel that works for God. That's why in the book of Job, he went and took his station among all the other angels when it was time for the angels to meet with God. Satan came in and took his station. He started talking. They were in a meeting. God didn't say, you don't belong here. So the Christians have it really strange, because your very book says Satan was in the meeting with God, and God is having a conversation with Satan. Oh, what you got in mind, Satan? Well, I think you need to test this one. I don't know about this one, Job. God is like, I'm open. Put your ideas on the table. I think you should. I think you should let me handle this one. All right, go handle him, but don't kill him. Okay. I mean, this is a bizarre conversation. We're not at Job yet. However, that's a very bizarre conversation. And if that's God, woe to all of us. And woe to you if you don't tap the love button, the thumbs up button. And thou shalt tap the subscribe button. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.